What made you decide to go into education?
Well, like I said, when I was younger, I always had great teachers that kind of made me want to go into education, but as I got older, I thought maybe that was like plan B. And so I initially wanted to go into journalism, but I decided that I didn't like the whole strategy that comes with journalism, so someone had mentioned to me that I would have great patience for special education. I laughed at them because I said I would never go into special education. And a few years ago I decided education was where I wanted to be.
So looking back, would you ever have imagined yourself becoming an instructional assistant?
I would never have expected becoming an instructional assistant. It just wasn't, special education itself just wasn't appealing to me. I didn't think I had the patience for it. I just didn't think it was the field that I would go into. And so now it's been 5 years and I can't imagine myself anywhere else.
What type of classroom do you currently work in?
I actually work in a specialized program. It's called TEACH, which we focus on teaching children with autism kind of basic living skills, and we focus a lot on communication. A lot of our students, they lack the communication skills that most kids their age have, so we try to focus on teaching them communication and asking for things, as well as kind of just daily chores that they may not really know how to do. So that's kind of, our classroom is a specialized program for that.
What is your least favorite part of the job and why?
My least favorite part, well, like I said, I work with children who have autism, and I work with children who are on the lower end of the spectrum, so a lot of them are lower functioning. So the progress that you see with them is very slow. I've been in this program for 3 years specifically, and like I said, the progress you see is sometimes very minimal, which can be discouraging, but when you do see it, it is an encouragement.
What is your most favorite part of the job?
The kids. Like, I have a relationship with every child that has walked into our classroom. Like, they each have their own personality. Like, some of them can't talk, but they have the biggest personalities you will ever meet. So I would definitely have to say they are my biggest driving force. And my coworkers, I get to work with an amazing teacher. We have great aides in our classroom, and we work well as a team. So for me, like, to have support within my own classroom, even though it's not my classroom per se, is probably like the most encouraging part of the job.
What has been your favorite experience while working in this specific classroom?
My favorite experience, I think, getting to watch the kids grow. My first year we had a 6th grade student, and so it was bittersweet to watch him go on, but it was kind of nice to know that the work that we had put in our classroom gave him the skills to go on to the next step and to go into middle school and be successful.
What's the grossest thing that you have had to do as part of your job?
The grossest part about my job is probably the germs and sometimes the diaper changing, because they can't necessarily do it themselves, so that leaves me. And so it's not their fault, but I am a human being, and sometimes changing someone else's diaper is not the most appealing, but they're great kids, so I don't mind it too much.
What is your relationship like with the other instructional assistants?
Well, I'm in like a weird transition right now. We have a bunch of new instructional assistants on our campus per se, but for the last 2 years, I've actually had really great relationships with the other aides. We worked together. You know, we were in different classrooms, but we knew each other's kids and we helped each other out. We were a support system when, you know, being a teacher and being an aide is two very separate things. And so to have people that I can talk to and just kind of voice, you know, my despairs, or just kind of to talk to them and them understand, was really great for me. So I still have a great relationship with those aides, and you know, we're friends outside of work, which is really nice. But I actually had a friend who just recently retired, and she became like my work BFF. I tell everyone my work BFF is 65 years old, but even to this day, I'll call her every day after work to tell her how my day went and to like vent to her. So I've had a really great relationship with the aides, and you know, like I said, we're in a transition where we have a lot of new aides, and it's just a growing experience. We understand each other in a way no one else can.
Are the teachers the general ed teacher is supportive of the special ed program?
I would say that we are pretty lucky on this campus to have the support of general ed teachers. A lot of teachers will ask us, do you need some students to come and be peer tutors? And the students here are just great with our kids. They want to play with them, they want to interact with them, and they don't see them as different. They see them as themselves, which is what our ultimate goal is. I think in anywhere you go, there are some people who don't really understand special education, which is fine because it's a hard area to kind of comprehend why students are the way they are, especially ours. We deal with behaviors, so for some teachers it's a little off-putting, but for the most part we have a really great staff here that will accommodate to our students, which is really nice, and they just integrate them like they're one, which is what we work for.
Are you currently going to school?
I am currently in school. I am finishing up my second year at Riverside Community College. Hopefully I can transfer in the next year. I want to go into education, and like I said, working here in an elementary school has given me a passion I didn't know I had. I always thought I wanted to be an English teacher, and then they transferred me here to an elementary school, and now I'm like, oh, I want to be a kinder teacher, completely opposite of a high school English teacher. But I'm in school now, working towards becoming a teacher and having my own classroom one day.
Would you recommend this job to your peers? Why or why not?
Would I recommend being an instructional aide? I think it takes a very specific person to be an instructional aide. It is not always the most rewarding job. There's a lot of hard things that come with being an aide. There's a lot of patience, there's a lot of discipline, there's a lot of just constantly, like I said, when I leave here, I think about work. So it's like, as an aide, that's kind of the responsibility you take on. Even though it's not in the pay grade, that's what you take on. So I think if you have a heart for special education and you have a heart for helping kids reach their fullest potential, then I think being an instructional aide is the job for you. But like I said, it's not for everyone, and that's fine. But it is, for me, it has been the most rewarding job I've ever had.